Hey guys, welcome back to Critical Flick. Today I'm going to be reviewing one of the biggest surprises of the year for me, Ready or Not. So if you've seen the trailers, you basically get a general idea of what the plot is of Ready or Not. You have a woman who's married into a very wealthy family, and this family has a tradition of playing a game on wedding night, and this leads to a life or death game of hide and seek. So I have to say right off the bat, I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was really well done. It gave me some serious You're Next vibes, which is one of my favorite recent horror films. And then it injects it with a lot of really solid comedy. I thought it had a really good blend of horror and comedy elements. That's kind of a hard line to skirt. I think some of the best horror movies have some really solid comedy, and this is one of those examples. Samara Weaving, who plays the main character Grace, the bride in the film, I thought she did an excellent job. I have never really seen her in anything before, and I wasn't really expecting a lot. I thought she was this new actress. I'd see how she'd do, and I think she knocked it out of the park. I think she just nailed a character that isn't helpless. One of those things that I really just do not like in horror movies is when your survivor character, your hero character, is kind of just at mercy of the situation when she kind of takes it under her own control. She's a very charismatic character. She's very likable. And I think she nailed, the screaming aspects. I mean, it sounds weird. Watching horror movies, there's a lot of these overacting. I mean, it's horror acting. It's kind of difficult to pull off without being a little campy. And I thought she skirted the line really well. When she is terrified, she really conveys how absolutely terrified she is. And I thought she did a really great job. Another performance that really stood out for me is Adam Brody's character, Daniel, who plays the brother of the groom in the movie. And I thought his character was one of the most compelling aspects of the film. You have a lot of characters that are basically caricatures of stuff. They're kind of exaggerated roles of wealthy older people or ridiculously young rich people, and just kind of how crazy you think of these people are and how the things they might do. And then his character felt very down to earth. He felt like somebody that was totally just beat down, and I thought that his character arc and his interactions throughout this movie were really compelling, and I thought it was also a really good performance. And I have to say, while this movie does not have the most in-depth story or something super original, it really made up for it for me in cinematography and atmosphere and just the way that the film is put together. I absolutely loved the setting of having it be in this big, old, gentry manor. I always feel like the combination of like wealth and opulence and then seeing this very sophisticated setting mixed with ultra violence and savagery works really well. And this is another film that really nails that blend of those two atmospheres into one thing. Also, the lighting of the mansion itself. The mansion is lit with a kind of a orangey glow of candlelight, which really adds to another element to it. It really makes it creepier. It feels like a creepy old mansion, and I love those settings. I'm a sucker for an old haunted house type movie. Another thing this film does that I thought made it a little interesting, made it stand out a little bit more from your average film, is it has a little bit of lore and a little bit of supernatural elements, and I like that. I was invested in this old family and their history and kind of the archaic objects and traditions of the family. It made it a little more lived in. It made it a little more interesting to me and had me kind of dive into, what is going to happen? Is any of this real? What is it? And I don't want to give away anything, but I thought that the ending was just insane, and the payoff of it was really great. That being said, this film is extremely graphic. If you are squeamish and you're not a fan of blood and violence, this is not the movie for you. It definitely earns its R rating, and that doesn't bother me at all. I like the fact that it goes for it. It doesn't shy away from it. And I think the blend of comedy with the horror doesn't make it overbearing. I don't think most people going into it would be overwhelmed by the gruesomeness of it because it is offset by some comedy, which lightens that up a little bit. I also like that the film has a slight social commentary on it. You have this ultra-rich family that feels so detached from society, and some of the characters in particular, especially the father and the grandmother, are just totally insane, basically. They will do anything to keep their wealth, and I feel like that has a little something to say about the upper parts of society, how they're willing to do horrible things so they don't lose power or money. So there's a little bit there, and it doesn't hit you over the head with it. It doesn't try to be smarter than it really is. And one of the things that I thought was really interesting is that you have the main character in a wedding dress. And that felt almost gimmicky to me. Okay, this girl's gonna be running around in a dress. It's kind of add atmosphere and a little bit of an aesthetic to it. This old, beautiful wedding dress in this old house. But no, they actually used the wedding dress to great effect. I liked that. I like that, it's slowly getting torn apart, whether it's for her to run better, getting caught on things. And the fact that she's using it in different ways. She even uses it, to defend herself, to kind of patch her wounds up a little bit. And then by the end of the film, you're seeing it just totally destroyed, her character totally disheveled. And I thought that is used to great effect. You're seeing the beginning of a movie, this very beautiful woman in this very beautiful dress. And by the end of it, she is just a wreck. The dress is a mess. And you're kind of getting her character arc, how from the beginning, she is so invested in trying to make this family like her, and that's all she wants in her life is just her husband's family to accept her. And by the end, she just says, you know what, forget it. And I liked that. I liked that you kind of get a little bit of the character arc in her dress as well as her actual character. So all that being said, I really, really enjoyed Ready or Not. I will actually give this movie a 9 out of 10. I liked it that much. I love being surprised by films. I feel like seeing so many movies, I kind of know what to expect. I know what I'm getting when I go into it. I went into this one almost completely blind. I hadn't seen any reviews. I'd only really seen the trailer a couple of times. And yeah, it blew me away how much I really enjoyed it, how much it surprised me. Alright guys, if you saw Ready or Not, let me know how you felt about the film. Did you like it as much as I did? Did it live up to the hype that it's kind of getting now? Leave those comments down below. And what is your favorite horror movie this year? I feel like we've had some really good horror movies coming out. I liked Pet Sematary, I loved Midsummer, I like Child's Play, Us, this. I feel like they're knocking them out of the park for me. So I'd like to hear what your favorite is this year. Remember to like and subscribe, and see you guys next time.